Okay, let's go ahead and I'll show you guys what I'm working on. And hi everyone in the chat. Hey Katharni, Cliff, and Candy Lover, and hey Terrence and Deirdre, and hey LJ. Just wondered when your next live stream is, and then ta-da! I guess my telepathy was working because I heard you think that. There we go. So this is an illustration, one of the last pages for the book. It was kind of one that I had trouble with because the text kept changing a lot. So I've inked about a quarter of it. So let's keep moving. Let's get these bushes inked. And then maybe I can bring this all to color live. That would be cool. Get some layer labeling action right here. I've become so organized in the course of this book making process. Because I have to change things around so often, I just have to have everything, every tiny little element has to be individual. Because it's so much of a pain to have to make changes. But now everything is its own little loop. I still remember the day that Photoshop came out with a rotate canvas tool. That was a great day. So how is everybody doing? Oh dear. Oh, we got a new person, Sigma Taurus. Nice to be here. Nice to have you, Sigma. And Miss Molly Mazzari. It's good to see you. I hope that it's entertaining. I always, sometimes I forget to talk on these live streams. And, well, at first I thought, nobody wants to hear me talk. And I would just play the music that I liked. Then I stopped being allowed to play the music that I liked because of copyright issues. And then it was just, you know, what, I gotta fill up the air somehow. And this is all gonna be behind the tree, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, Joe. Just connect the dots. There we go. Okay, so there's the bush. And I'm gonna do some tall grasses. I'm gonna use a concept brush for some grass detail, but I'm gonna get some of the taller grasses in as well. So my goal is to finish one illustration today, and then get to work on the last page. Oh wait, no, I need to finish this illustration today and tighten up the end page and start working on the final page, which is like just got 30 characters on it, and I haven't thought it out too well yet. this is sort of my last couple of days that I have before the deadline. And I'm a little bit nervous. So I used to be able to work at night, but I'm such a wreck by 9 p.m. now. I can't manage much after 9 p.m. Okay, how do those grasses look? Let's knock the sketch back. This is a little weird. Oh dear. I hear Diana. Oh, kitten, what's the matter? It's nap time. Okay, maybe a couple curly cues. Just for fun. Nope. I might destroy those later. Okay, so we got the puddles. I'll probably have to redo those puddles. And we got the cat. This is one that needs to be inked. Knock the sketch back. New layer, cat lines. Go. I also do drip lines. See, every little thing. I've got to separate out every little itsy bitsy teensy weensy little thing. I've never been, it's kind of embarrassing for me, I've never been good at effects animation. So drawing things like splashes always kind of I just fuss with it to a point where I don't know if it even resembles water anymore. I might just have to save this for color. Like, I know in theory how it's supposed to look. Yeah, that's just too much. It should be a little drippy drop splash. Right on the nose. I'll mess with the opacity. It won't look that terrible. But now that I know that that's done, I can focus on the kitty cat. And this is how anal I'm being right now. I'm going to put the whiskers on a separate layer. Because I want this to be colored very easily. No, I love whiskers on kittens. And warm woolen mittens. Yeah. Oh! Ms. Mazzari has 8-year-old son Zeke is watching. He's fascinated. Zeke, oh. Hi, Zeke. Your mom's the best. Hi, Zoran. Didn't see you sneak in. Grass touching? I'll have none of this. Well, you know what? This is, I am required by YouTube law to state that this is not content for kids, so beware. Beware that grass will be touched here. And that is not a euphemism, but it sounds like it could be. Oh, did I welcome new people coming in? Oh, okay. And we have Alana on Periscope. Thank you. And Lexi's here. Thank you for believing in me, Lexi. Yeah, Diana has a pretty strong pair of lungs, but I think she's okay now. I think she's just tired, and I think maybe she's resisting the nap. But Miss Nikki is here. She's helping out so I can finish this book. And she always has things well in hand. I can hear them. Fake Dixieland. And, oh, welcome Strawberry Bella. Nice to say oh. And Lexi had to pop out. See you later, Lexi. Hope to see you soon. And, wow. We have Nasir from Shenyang. Hello, greetings. Zoran, it's your confidence that I admire. That is very funny, Zoran. You're a funny guy. You should write some sketches to put on the internet. He does do that. He is a very funny guy. I know I said that to be sarcastic, but it's also very true. So that makes what I said not funny. And Zoran, picking up on the reference, that's only a few of your favorite things. Oh, and also, confidence. I have confidence. Wait, how does it go? I have confidence in confidence alone. And I just watched Sound of Music like last week. I should remember that song. Something I haven't heard in a while, a good cha-cha. I think it's my favorite drawing genre of music. Because it keeps me going, moving forward. But it doesn't give me a panic attack. It's hard to get a cha-cha wrong, too. Yeah. Oh! I just didn't see that. Ducky Boos! Welcome. Nice to see you again. Start singing some dirty pirate shanties. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Actually, I know, what's that one song? I have an island in the Pacific. Oh, An Occasional Man. That's kind of a dirty song, and also a cha-cha. But it's dirty in the way songs used to be dirty. Not really dirty, but just suggestive, but very, very clever and very funny. Cha-cha-cha. Yeah, so if we were playing the music of my choice, I would be singing at this point. All this kind of sounds like game show music. Come on down. There's that cat. Where's That Cat? Filmed before a live studio audience. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Where's That Cat? And are in the LA area, please have your cat spayed or neutered. Okay, let me just finish up the cat and then I'll get back on the chat. This is the worst part, when I'm just going back and fussing with the lines, and I just ruin it. Is that your final guess? Remember, you only get the unicycle if you guess closest without going over. Was there ever a unicycle prize on The Price is Right? I would love to see that. Wow, wow. Door number 3. You know what's sad? Young people are not going to know anything about what game shows used to be like. Because you had to be forced to watch them on boring days after school. Now there's no reason to watch them or even any place to watch them. Kind of sad. I don't know why, but it just makes me sad. So if I said to a young person, no whammies, no whammies, they would just... Actually, that would just be a weird thing to say out of the blue, so they'd be right to give me the fisheye. I'll test that on my niece and nephew. They've got to know what a whammy is. Everyone should know what a whammy is. So this was the big band playlist. I don't know why it's 70s themed show. 70s TV show themes. Sound-alikes. It's weird. Alright, so since this cat is kind of raggedy, I'm gonna give her a little more breaks in the hair. That ought to do it. With a drip line, I'll reduce the opacity so it doesn't annoy the living deal outside of me. There we go. Alright. There's the bush. Now I'm already seeing an unfortunate tangent right here, so I'm going to try and fix this right now. Oh my god, this is such a game show sound. I don't know if I can take all this game show music. Yeah, the first thing This is called Harlem Rollout? There's nothing like a song called Harlem Rollout. Okay, let's go to the cha-cha. There we go. Much better. Oh, Zeke was so happy to hear me mention that his mom, Molly, was the best. He'd like to know where to find my book illustration. Oh, okay. Well, he's 8 years old, which means that he probably wasn't in pre-K a year ago. But I did this book, Ms. Missouri, Behind a Little Red Door, and you can order it at koibowls.com. This gentleman right here, Koi Bowls. But it was done in conjunction with Georgia Pre-K, and every Pre-K student in Georgia got a copy. And they wanted a sequel, so that's what we're working on now. But if you send me your address, I can just send you one. DM me on Facebook, I'll send you one. And Zoran making more funny jokes. Well, you're a funny guy, Zoran. You think you're funny? Well, you are. You really are, and that makes me sad because I can't keep up. And Mr. Keith Newton says this cat looks like he's in between sucking on a lemon or ripping a powerful fart. Either way, I dig it. Well, the story of this cat is that he's hiding behind this tree. And he's being real sneaky because there are these puddles. And there are these birds that are splashing with the puddles. And this cat was thinking, I'm gonna get me that bird. But then it's just after the rain, hence the puddles. And this tree is just dripping on him, just like bloop. And so he is, stopped in his tracks. And this bird's life is saved. I mean, this is the story of this page. This was going to be a tragedy, but no longer because that cat got a wet nose. So splash away, bird, splash away. You get to live today. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. See, you just can't resist a cha-cha. Doesn't matter. It's just cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. See, I've never heard this ever before in my life, this particular song, but I can tell you when the cha-cha-cha is happening. Everybody knows when to cha-cha-cha. Not yet. And they thought they could fool me. I'm a cha-cha master from way back. Cha-cha-cha, see? Okay, let's work on this mailbox now. This mailbox has given me so much grief, you have no idea. Ba, ba, ba. Take the puddles away. I'm going to ink the mailbox today. And it's gonna be nice and blue. And perhaps a bit of gray. Cha-cha-cha. Hold shift and get a straight line. Hold shift again, another straight line. But this one's slightly curved. Cha-cha-cha. Oh, man, they fooled me. I missed the last cha-cha-cha. That was weird. Son of a beeswax. There we go. Nope. Keep doing that. Come on, Photoshop, don't you know what I'm intending to do? Me alone. No one to near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known that we own a telephone, dear. Yeah, this follows a T for 2 chord progression. I'll spare you the rest of the song. Oh, but I should catch up on the chat. Oh, let's go. Somebody talking about the Looney Tunes trailer. And Zoran left us. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll talk soon about that awesome, super hilarious, super duper secret project that we're working on that I want to hop on right after I finish this book. Which is why I'm so eager to finish this book on time. Also, deadlines. Need to take for all the boys to see. Cha cha cha. Sorry, that just came back. It's the exact same chords. Okay. And Nasir said, hey, I was the guy with COVID way back then. Now I'm better. Hope you're awesome. Oh, man. I'm so glad. I mean, not that you had COVID. I'm glad you're good. I was wondering about you. So, hopefully it wasn't too painful, but that's really, really great news. And Katharni says, what are your thoughts on the Looney Tunes trailer? Let's see what other girls are saying. And Keith Newton asking about the background music. It is very game show, yeah. It's the big band search on Epidemic Music, and I guess 1970s game shows falls under the province of big band these days. Yeah, and Katharni talking about the Looney Tunes trailer that dropped yesterday, which I did see. And welcome Yoai, if I pronounced that properly. Saw a gif of dancing on a mom's belly. Is that your animation? Yeah, I did a pregnant mama lying on her back with the baby dancing in her belly. That was mine. And, oh, welcome, Animating Cast Podcast. Nice to see. I actually saw the Looney Tunes trailer because Animating Cast posted it on Twitter, so I got to see that. Oh, Margie's here. Hey, Margie. And, oh, Beowulf. Welcome, Beowulf. I am doing fine. I don't know why I always do a weird accent, Beowulf. I hope you don't mind. And Animating Cast, romp, 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 romp. Hey, I was thinking more of One Flew Over the Cuckoo Clock, where they just do the slappy theme as a cha-cha for some reason. Cha-cha-cha. Skippy. Yep. That's my impression of Slappy. Not being hired to do that anytime soon. Oh, bother. Come now. Was that really, really necessary, Photoshop? Okay, so mailbox lines and extra woodworking lines. Okay, mailbox sketch, drop that back. Oh, I inked that a little. Yeah, that's a little thick, but you know what? It's closer to the camera, so I think I can justify it. It's closer to the camera. Okay. Organizing this and organizing that. Folders are so much fun. So I'm just gonna knock the mailbox back a little bit so I can focus on these flowers. The beautiful flowers. Yeah, I might do flowers in front and behind. I'll just do it all at once and then separate it later. Knock it back, knock it back. Let me get a different inker. Brayer Control, Brayer Control. How does this look? Let's see. Oh, I just realized I'm avoiding the question of the Looney Tunes trailer. Yeah. Aw. Bye, Ms. Missouri. I probably missed it when you had to jump off, but it's amazing to have you join me. I hope that I see you soon. And LJ says the new Looney Tunes shorts are partly even animated on paper, old style. Partly, for sure. The thing that I don't understand is... like, Dynamite Dance was released, that teaser for the new Looney Tunes, and it was amazing. It was really beautifully done. And then, you know, they go on about how it's all traditionally frame by frame animated. And then you look at the trailer and it just, so much of it looked puppeted. And, I mean, and I didn't notice before with just Elmer and Bugs, but seeing all the characters, there seems to be a significant Spumco influence in the design. And yes, I know Spumco was heavily influenced by Bob Clampett, and they took a more Bob Clampett turn. I don't know, it's just, there's something, like even the new Mickey Mouse cartoons had a Spumco quality to them that I just don't like. And again, it's very disheartening to see how much of the trailer was cut out, puppeted animation. Just, there's a lot of it. A lot of it. There was only a few parts. And I can see that maybe a lot of it was animated frame by frame, but in the cleanup process, they just used a lot of, you know, just reusing the previous ink to basically make it look like puppeted. I don't know. It's just, I was disappointed, and we'll see. I'll see if I can get a subscription to HBO Max, and it's just, I've got so much anxiety in my life. just by my own nature, not because of anything in particular. Just I wanted to see something that looked more like Green Eggs and Ham. But fun, explosive, undeniable animation. And Green Eggs and Ham is beautiful, but it's a bit conservatively animated. That's their style. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine, but that's what I was hoping Looney Tunes would be. But again, we'll see. Also, the trailer didn't make me laugh. But maybe I was just too focused on the technical. Yeah. You better some mumbo jumbo to the combo samba and the mamba at the trapper combo. But then there was a jumbo jumbo playing the limbo on the bongos, and then he was gone. I have no idea what you're talking about, Animaniacast. Tweety looks really weird in the trailer. His mouth is puppety. Yeah, there's a lot that's puppety. And Spiggy of he says, what is spunk quality? I said spumco. That's John Kay's style. Fenrir says, new Mickey Mouse cartoons suck. I don't think they suck. I think they're really well done, honestly. But they just don't feel. I just wish they were hand drawn. You're missing so much personality when everything just looks homogeneous. I want to be able to pick out individual animators' styles. Yes, it's a little messier. Yes, it's more expensive, but that's the kind of stuff that gets the creative juices flowing. That's the kind of stuff that makes my ears perk up. And LJC says, there seem to be some studios working on paper and some are animating digitally, so maybe they will vary. We'll see. But you'd think that they would put their best, absolute best stuff up front. At least one would hope. But what Warner Brothers is doing is a gamble. They're finally trying to do something. They're trying to use these characters in the way they were meant to be used, instead of trying to cram them into some format that doesn't work. So I am very happy that Warner Brothers is doing that, but we'll see. I don't know. They've spent so long alienating all the people that could actually helm stuff like this, so I don't know. But I know Dan Haskett was animating on it, and he's one of my absolute favorite animators and character designers. Big hero. So, here's hoping, kid. Yeah, and Tweety did look really weird. He didn't look cute. He looked kind of diseased. Again, that's the Spumco influence. That's basically when I say when something looks Spumco influenced. I mean, there's lots of great artists that came out of Spumco, including one of my favorite artists, Shane Glines. But he doesn't look like Spumco. Spumco has this quality that makes the characters look somewhat diseased. Like, you just, like, there's an element of gross, and it takes away any appeal that is otherwise in the drawing for me, because I just, like, the new Goofy design from the new Mickey Mouse cartoons, like, he looks gross. Like, there's something gross about, I don't know. I could talk more specifically about it, but I don't know if it's worth it, but there's sort of this trend to depict legacy characters as spunko-y and diseased. And they just claim, like, oh, that's how Bob Clampett. It's like, this is not how Bob Clampett drew them. Bob Clampett was wild, off the wall, rubbery, crazy, explosive, but not diseased. Yeah, let's get some rockabilly up in here. Hey, that's a pretty good riff. Ah, don't stop now, man. I was just getting into it. And yeah, there was good stuff in there. The Bugs and Gossamer fashion strut, that was pretty good. And Donnie asked, what's my beef with Spumco? Just the diseased quality about it. Like I just said. And sadly, Disney does not care. They treat their icon as a joke. I think Disney treats their legacy characters... Traditionally, they treat their legacy characters much better than Warner Brothers ever has. And Spaghettivodoazujijiji said, didn't John K. diss Animaniacs? Yeah, because it was a scripted show, and he thought that cartoons should be storyboarded, like the story artist should be front and center. That's my understanding. But I don't really care. People are allowed to not like Animaniacs. I get it. But that said, I was never a fan of Ren and Stimpy. There's just, again, this quality of gross. There's like this... I don't know. It's just, everything looked like it was about to throw up on me. Just... like, as a kid, I didn't like it, and as an adult, I can appreciate the level of talent that John Kay has. Because he is talented. I don't think he's a hack. I mean, for sure he's talented. I just don't like it. And I don't know the details of what happened recently, his controversy. I don't want to know. But it just kind of... It makes sense to me that he would do disgusting things if he has an aesthetic that gross. Does that make sense? Like, the characters look like they should be really appealing, but they just aren't. But to the point of cartoons being board-driven versus script-driven, it'd be fun to make a board-driven cartoon, but the way studios work now, I just don't see how that's feasible, because it takes so long to board something, and so many people have to approve it. It's just... But what I have learned from listening to the Animaniacast is how much freedom the writers on Animaniacs had to just present a premise and then go to town. Like, they didn't have to do outlines and constantly submit. They were just, there's a premise, work on a script. And it seems like all of the writers on Animaniacs had a really strong appreciation for film history, animation history. So they were never trying to make cartoons that were relevant. They were just trying to make funny cartoons. And that's my problem, is trying to make cartoons, hit. Cartoons are not cool. I mean, they just aren't. But that's what makes them great. You can't be the anarchist and be cool. And that's what cartoons are. Cartoons make fun of things. Cartoons find humor where you didn't think there were. Cartoons, what's the funniest thing that happens in a cartoon? Pain, agony. We laugh at these things. But it's not cool. Bugs Bunny, he's a comic hero, but he's not cool. Like, that's why he shouldn't be. I don't know, I just hate Space Jam so much when that came out, because they were trying to make the Looney Tunes cool. It was like, no, just make them funny. And there's so many artists who they're just champing at the bit for a chance to make funny cartoons. I really hope that they got that opportunity with these new Looney Tunes. Boy, I drew a lot of flowers. This is taking a while. I'm sorry. Also, again, I apologize if I sound a little down. I'm just really tired. It's been a hard lockdown. Because we only recently started getting help again, but earlier this week, when Nikki came, I just had to take a nap. When she came in, I was sitting on the floor. I was done. I was sitting on the floor in front of the door, just trying to corral the toddler. Oh, I hear tears again. Oh, I don't want tears. Those sound like tired tears. Oh, man. And LJ worked on Space Jam. I'm not dissing the quality of the animation of Space Jam. Make no mistake. I thought it was beautifully done. But it was not a good movie. It was offensive to people who love Looney Tunes. Just, Michael Jordan is cool. He's not funny. Bugs Bunny is funny. He's not cool. Of cartoon characters, of the spectrum of cartoon characters, he is the coolest in the world. But I don't know, you just can't put Bugs Bunny in a basketball movie. Just why? Yeah, but tell me, I'd love to hear any war stories you have, LJ. Because I think of all of the modern incarnations of the Looney Tunes, I thought Space Jam was the best looking, for sure. I think the last Looney Tunes cartoon that felt like a Looney Tunes cartoon to me was, what was that called? It was with Bugs and Daffy. It was like a bunch of Blooper Bunny. That one was hilarious. And it was the last time I felt like Daffy was himself. Because no one can quite get Daffy right. Daffy's not stupid. And he's not a villain. He's just very arrogant and very selfish. And I thought he was perfect in Blooper Bunny. I thought Bugs was perfect too. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It was like a 6-minute Looney Tunes short from a couple years ago. Not a couple years ago, many years ago, but it was done in the 90s. And Ocelot says, can I ask how you choose or develop your art style? I just still don't know. Do I want to draw like you in a cartoonish style or in a more realistic way? I don't really choose my style. I think it's don't set out to have a style. I don't think I have a style. Like, I choose a style for this book, something that's appropriate for a children's book. But yeah, just endeavor to draw well and draw what interests you, and you'll find something develop without having to seek something out. You don't have to have a style. And honestly, the artists that can draw a lot of different ways are the most valuable artists, at least in the animation industry. And a lot of people say I have a Hanna-Barbera style, which confuses me, I guess. So, other people will tell you what your style is so don't worry about labeling yourself. People will let you know what you remind them of. And Fenrir says, the Monstars were fun. I liked the red one. I don't understand the monster. Like, it's just so many different things in that movie going on, and nothing felt like it was there because it was in service of character or story or even a joke, like a good joke. Like, every once in a while there was a joke because they're like, oh my god, we're making a Looney Tunes movie, we have to have a joke at some point. So that's, you got a fart joke or a pee joke, which is not Looney Tunes. I sort of got mad when I saw those. I was like, Looney Tunes don't have fart humor. But it was the 90s. Everyone has fart humor in the 90s. And I'm not against a good fart joke. But it has to be a good fart joke. And it has to be appropriate to the character. And I don't even remember. Was it one of the Monstars? I think Lola Bunny said nice butt, which was a joke, I guess. I just remember hating Lola so much. I was like, we've waited so many years for a girl Looney Tune, and that's what they give us? That's what they give us. I hope she's not in the second one. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing traditional animation again and stuff, but just... why Space Jam? There's so many other things you could be doing with the talents. So many other things, Warner Brothers. That's okay. Someday I'll have time. I'll make my own damn cartoons. And they will amuse me. And I will watch them and I will laugh to myself. Then I'll eat a whole bowl of cookie dough and call it an evening. I really need to get some sleep. Okay, you know what? These flowers... yeah, there's not even really a point to make a back layer to this. I'm just gonna do a match line right here. and hope that it doesn't look too awkward once I color it. Yeah, once this scales down, I don't think anyone's going to be able to notice. And when I get into the color, I will probably add some more texture behind. Yeah. Like, when I get to color is my version of, oh, I'll fix it in post. It's garbage now, but I can work with it. Okay, the hummingbirds. There you go. And more flowers from over here. Save. And oh, welcome Tristan. And check you later, Fenrir. And Spidivadagadwajdi says, how to stay creative while sleep deprived sounds impossible. For me, I just get angry. I'm just an angry person when I don't get sleep. Like some people get angry when they're hungry. I get really sad when I'm hungry. It's like really weepy. Everything makes me cry. I'm also hungry right now, so I am floating between sad and angry. But when I don't sleep, I'm mad. Like, I'm mad right now. I'm a hornet's nest waiting to sting. And Elon says, have I ever watched Evangelion? I don't have too much interest in anime. There's some that I like. I watched a bit of it when I was in middle school, but I sort of dropped off in the intervening years. But I'm not a big fan of big robot anime. And as I understand, that's what Evangelion is. And LJ said, Space Jam was basically one big commercial and being made at about 5 studios in London and had to be finished within 10 months. We had to work until 10 p.m. twice a week and on one weekend day. Jeez. 10 months? You turned that around in 10 months? Crikey. And luckily it worked mostly on Daffy. Daffy was great. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but Daffy was awesome looking in Space Jam. But that was a lot of spittle to animate too. And Raccoon Animations say they're about to make Space Jam 2 with LeBron. I mean, it's putting animators to work. I'm not mad, really, that they're making it. I just wish that they could put all that creative energy to create something really meaningful and lasting. Like Klaus was amazing. Beowulf said, what did you think about the mid-2000s Duck Dodgers cartoon? I didn't watch it too much. It was okay. I don't know. It was just... Was that Paul Dini a showrunner on that? I can't quite remember. And I know that Paul Dini was a writer back in the day on Tiny Toons, but... I don't know. I just never felt like he comedied very well. It's just strange. The premise of doing a Duck Dodgers show was just sort of strange because nobody, like the original Duck Dodgers in the 24th and Half Century cartoon was a parody, you know. And once you take the element of parody out of it and try to play it straight somewhat, it doesn't make that much sense. So I think they did the best that they could with the premise and budget and everything. It was just another one of those. It was. I would put it on of all the Looney Tunes properties. I would put it on the more successful end of that. Definitely better than Lunatics and Baby Looney Tunes. Definitely. At least they were trying to do something with the actual characters. Which doesn't seem like it would be a lot to ask. But apparently for Warner Brothers it is. Oh, you want me to treat this character like the character that it is? Yes, please? If you don't mind? But this character isn't marketable. Well, again, cartoon characters are not cool people. Like, when I say they're not cool, I mean, like, they're not celebrities who will sell you basketball shoes. Like, Michael Jordan, again, is cool. LeBron James is cool. But they're not funny. And the Looney Tunes are funny, but they're not cool. It's like trying to make Mickey Mouse a cool guy. He's not cool. But luckily, they're not trying to make Mickey cool. Okay. And Donnie said, in my opinion, the last two times the Looney Tunes were great were Back in Action and Duck Dodgers. Back in Action... Oh, and somebody else... Yeah, Raccoon asking about what's my opinion on Looney Tunes Back in Action. I had such high hopes for that movie because... what was the director's name? Oh, the guy who did Gremlins. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm totally blanking on his name. I keep wanting to say Spike Brandt, but he's the guy at Warner Brothers. Joe Dante, that's it. When Back in Action was announced, I read these interviews with Joe Dante, who said he wanted it to be the anti-Space Jam because he hated Space Jam. And he said all the right things, and it sounded great. But I just have a feeling there was a lot of studio meddling, and he couldn't quite make the movie he wanted to make. I don't blame the director one little bit, because people think the directors have all this control. No, when there's a lot of money being poured into a studio project, nobody has control except for the suits and the briefcases at the studio. Back in Action overall was a disappointment because they said, okay, let's make it like the wild and wacky cartoon, but it was run by people who don't care about cartoons. They just have this notion of what a cartoon is and don't understand why a cartoon is the way it is. And so you get a lot of goofy sound effects for no reason, and Steve Martin's funny, throw him in there. Like, no, you don't put a human cartoon character in with a movie with actual cartoon characters. Like, if Eddie Valiant was bouncing off the walls, Roger Rabbit wouldn't have much to do now, would he? Roger Rabbit, by the way, is a perfect movie. One of my favorite movies. A movie done by people who understand cartoons and love and appreciate cartoons. And when I say made by, I'm always talking about the studios. The artists, I never lump them in when I'm criticizing. The animation in Back in Action was great. But the one scene that really stood out, that I will watch over and over and over again, was the art museum scene. Where they're jumping in and out of the paintings. Like, that's Looney Tunes. That's fantastic. And what is it? It's like a 2-minute scene. It hardly lasts any time at all, but it's so good. Guys, it's so good. And the rest of the movie just sort of doesn't make sense. And Brendan Fraser is just kind of odd. I mean, I like Brendan Fraser, but he's a weird actor. A weird choice. He's not a straight man. Like, you need a straight man in that role. Like, somebody with a lot of dignity. Like Bob Hoskins. Somebody who can play things straight. But you've got all the people in that movie mugging and going, "Bleh," and it's just... people, you don't understand what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create a contrast between cartoon characters and humans. They just don't get it. And so overall, the movie was just kind of It's definitely better than Space Jam, just conceptually, but it was like the studio half-heartedly trying to give those characters a chance to shine again. And all you need to do is get the old school guys you can find and say, here's some money and a few months, let's say 6 months, just make a cartoon. We'll peek in from time to time, but just make a cartoon and make it funny. The wonderful thing about Termite Terrace is, Warner Brothers has always been dumping on them. Like back when they were just Leon Schlesinger Productions, Leon Schlesinger, I don't know if he hated cartoons, but he was definitely just in it to make money. He didn't really care about cartoon characters or advancing the art form. He just hired a bunch of people who were weirdos, but seemed to know what they were doing, more or less, even though the art form was being invented as they were going. And they're all fans of the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers and vaudeville and Abbott and Costello and Jack Benny and all these great comics on the radio, and so they mimicked the comedy they already loved, but they just didn't have to pay any respect to the laws of physics or logic. I would say that they got like a ton of inspiration from radio at the time. Mel Blanc also had his own radio show, which was actually pretty good. It was a pretty cute show. Boy, Mel Blanc was a hustler, man. I think he's the hardest working man Hollywood has ever seen. What was my point? I don't know, the tired and the hunger just sort of leapfrog over each other and my brain short-circuited. Donnie says, I'd say Daffy's more of an anti-hero than a villain. Well, he's definitely not a villain. He's just, and I wouldn't say anti-hero either. He's just a good character. He's, like Chuck Jones described him as being just that part of us that we all have a Daffy Duck inside of us that's like, no, my turn. And that's Daffy. And hey, Tom, nice to see you. And Alana said, what about Looney Tunes show Lola? Lola on the Looney Tunes show was the major reason I started liking that show. That Lola was so funny. Oh my god. She was, and I love how they developed the relationship between her and Bugs, how it was very, very gradual. Like at first Bugs, was kind of like, hey, pretty bunny lady, how you doing? Trying to turn on the charm, and then all of a sudden he's like, once he realized that she was a basket of crazy, how every episode with them was just about him trying to get away from her. And then, she sort of wore him down. I loved it. I thought it was really funny. And in case you're wondering, I placed the Looney Tunes show, the sitcom, at the high end of successful Looney Tunes reboots, revamps, whatever, retoolings. But I have my own headcanon because the characters aren't quite right in that show. But it was a really well-written sitcom, and it made me laugh a lot, so I have to give credit to it. It made me laugh. But it's not Looney Tunes cartoons. They're just taking these basic Looney Tunes archetypes and putting them in a sitcom setting. And for what it is, it works. It's not Looney Tunes, for sure, and that Daffy on that show is way too stupid to be the real Daffy, so I had my own headcanon to explain how the Looney Tunes show characters came to be. And once I started thinking of it in those terms, I was able to enjoy the show without being, like, resenting every chuckle it got out of me. But yeah, again, I'm willing to forgive just everything if it's funny. Like, there's no rules about humor that you can't make fun of this and you can't do that. Just like, no, I have certain kinds of humor that I like a whole lot because it makes me laugh a lot more than other forms of humor. For instance, I don't like cringe humor as much as I like jokes. But I like The Office, and that's nothing but cringe humor most of the time. Although I still can't make it through that one episode of Scott's Tots. That was just so cringy. It's so uncomfortable. I just don't see the humor in something that uncomfortable. But for the most part, yeah. So again, if you make me laugh, I'll be like, alright, you don't have to stick to my arbitrary rules of comedy. Just freaking make me laugh. And that's what Space Jam didn't do. Back in Action didn't really make me do much laughing. And it's like, people just have this weird idea that they know what a cartoon is. And they don't. They really don't. So again, we'll see. And LJ says Space Jam sucked as a movie, but they had the best animators in the business working on it, which was a great experience. Oh, I would have, if I had worked on Space Jam, I would wear that as a badge of honor. Because it is gorgeous. My favorite part of Space Jam is when Bugs and Daffy come into the live action world and they just place all these just delicious, juicy shadows and highlights on them, and they fit in the real world so well. And that, to me, cartoon characters living in the real world is like candy. I can't get enough. I can't get enough of seeing cartoon characters in a live action world. It's not as much fun to me to see live action characters in a cartoon world. Which is another reason Roger Rabbit was so successful, because that's what that movie mostly was. You're only in Toontown for a little bit of that movie. But when they're there, they make the most of it. That's for sure. Yeah, but again, for the artist's sake, I wish the studios would pick projects that were really special. Because those animators, those people, they're still out there. They're still skilled as all get out. Whoops. And Animaniacast says, Lola in the Looney Tunes sitcom show was cool. I liked her as a funny ditzy character. Not just a furry eye candy girl. Agreed. And, we got some new people in here. Kitsy and Meow. Hello! And Ocelot says, same with anime. Although in my school days, I remember mostly watching anime about Zorro from the 90s. There was a 90s anime about Zorro? I'm kind of interested in that. I'd like to see that. And Katharni says, anime isn't doing great in terms of animation nowadays. Most of the mainstream anime is just horribly animated. Well, I wouldn't know about that now. None of it. I tried to watch Attack on Titan. And if there's anything that annoys the toon shaded CG key to key animation, it's hard for me to watch. I think that's what Attack on Titan was. I couldn't make it through even a few minutes of that. I stopped and started, even though I know Dragon Prince is not an anime, but it's done in that style, the toon shaded CG. I stopped and started that show a couple times because it was so hard for me to watch it. It was just like noodles on chalkboard, but for my eyes. But that ended up being a really good show. It sucked me in. Definitely not Avatar Last Airbender quality, unfortunately. But lots of fun, nevertheless. It was a cute dragon. And Kitsy and Meow says, I think anime tends to cater towards long-term fandoms now. There's more series than standalone movies, and it's usually for people who are already into anime. I could see that, yeah. I mean, I tried to watch every single movie Studio Ghibli put out, but I lost track. And Raccoon says, Joe Dante. Oh my gosh, I am really behind on the chat. Sorry. And Donna says, yes, it was Paul Dini who worked on Duck Dodgers. Was he the showrunner, though? Or was he the show creator? And Raccoon says, I believe that Eric Goldberg was the lead animator on Back in Action. Well, yeah, I think Back in Action was beautifully animated, but it didn't have the same shadow work that Space Jam had that really made that animation really pop. Like, that, it wasn't the quality of the animation itself, I must say, it's like the treatment of it. And Beowulf says, nothing really compares to the old Looney Tunes cartoons. One of my favorites is the Rabbit of Seville. Oh, Rabbit of Seville is hysterically funny. Just, I don't know who was it Chuck Jones who did the character layouts for that himself? Because I know he didn't technically animate his cartoons. I think his lead character animator was Ken Harris, but Chuck Jones did layout poses. And whoever, like, he must have done that layout of Bugs' face when he's doing da-da-da-da-da, like, Bugs' face is like, I don't know, it's just the weirdest expression on his face. But it's so funny. I mean, and that's the kind of stuff you can't mandate. You can't say, make another Rabbit of Seville, or What's Opera Doc, or another Duck Dodgers. I'm just naming Chuck Jones cartoons. Darn it. I don't know, all the most iconic Looney Tunes cartoons for me are Chuck Jones. I'll say Frizz Freeling from the 1940s as well. You can't make another Pigs in a Polka. I would love to make another Pigs in a Polka, though. And that's kind of what Animaniacs was for me. Just... I don't know. They may not have made cartoons the same way as the Looney Tunes, but I feel like Animaniacs came out of the same spirit of anarchy that the Looney Tunes did, and just balls-to-the-wall comedy. Just whatever is funny, for no other reason than it amuses us. We are doing this. We don't care how this plays to a target demographic. We're not making it for anybody but our own dang deranged selves. Also, we love Jerry Colonna for some reason. And maybe I need to listen to more of his radio show, but I'm like, what is the big deal with this Jerry Colonna? Ah, yes. Oh man, I'm really hungry. Why did I draw so many flowers? Oh my god. Okay, I'm almost done. Oh, I should have just inked this straight. Not bothered with the sketch. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Animated Cats, by the time you read this, I will be gone. But have a great day. Well, thank you for your very dramatic farewell. I still have to listen to that latest episode with Tom Ruger and Paul Rudd, but I'm looking forward to it. Bye, Animated Cast. And LJ says, one of my favorite Looney Tunes is Heckling Hair by Tex Avery. I don't remember that one. Remind me, which one was that? And Beowulf said, the new series better have at least one I should have made a left turn at Albuquerque moment. I bet they're going to do a lot of that, honestly. I think that it's so unquantifiable how to make a good Looney Tunes cartoon. They're really going to try and hang their hat on stuff that's really recognizable. So I'm hoping to see more classical music escapades. I think that would be lots of fun. I hope they have a few nods to old Hollywood, because I just don't feel like the Looney Tunes belong in our time. Why did I put leaves on a leaf? Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Did you hear me saying I was hungry over and over?
No.
Thank you. He's a good man. But it's 2 o'clock. When did I start this? I wonder how long I've been streaming for. Let's see how this is looking. Oh, is that enough flowers, guys? What do you think? Okay, so now getting to the simpler stuff. Red door. I am not going to stop until all of this is inked. This is... oh my gosh, lunch smells so good. "51 minutes. Thank you, Katharni." And Heckling Hair, Bugs, and the dog both... oh, is that the one with the... where Bugs does the sexy mermaid gag? And the dog is the Mad Russian? It was Avery's last Looney Tunes before he left the studio. Wow. Now, something's got to be said for Tex Avery. Has anyone made more hysterical one-off cartoons than him? Just his ability to just milk a premise for gags. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a special kind of skill by itself. It's weird because he didn't create that many characters after Bugs Bunny that are as enduring. Like, you've got Droopy, sort of the Wolfie character. But I mean, normal people wouldn't know who Wolfie is. But I mean, after that, there's Quickie Koala. Screwy Squirrel. Screwy Squirrel's definitely more funny than Quickie Koala, but yeah, his one-off, like something of the future, the Magical Maestro. God, Magical Maestro is so funny. When Pixar came out with Presto, I was against it because like this is just Magical Maestro, but with a rabbit. But Presto was really funny too. Actually, Pixar has done a lot of referencing great cartoons, like in Monsters, Inc., when Sully thinks that Boo is being ripped apart. It's exactly the same thing as Feed the Kitty. Why isn't this working? Joe! My hand is trembling from weariness and hunger. And my spine is uncomfortable. Oh, I had to switch it up. And Raccoon says, is it just me or do the characters in the new Looney Tunes show seem a bit too hyperactive? I know, I think they're... It's hard to tell. It's like they don't hold on anything long enough for a joke to register. But yeah, it's still kind of upsetting to see so much puppetry in a series of cartoons that we were promised were entirely hand-drawn. So, who knows? Who knows? And... oh, Kitty and Meow loves the cat's expression. Thank you. And Donnie says, I got the wrong short. Okay. Oh, Heckling Hare is the dumb hunting dog. Okay, I remember. Yeah. So I'm guessing the one I was thinking of where Bugs... the hunting dog is the Mad Russian and Bugs does the sexy mermaid routine. I think that's a Bob Clampett cartoon. And Raccoon says, the animation looks excellent. I just think, based on the clips they showed in the trailer, the characters seem a bit too hyperactive and not so calm and confident as they used to. I mean, they're definitely more inspired by Bob Clampett than they are Chuck Jones in the design and execution of these. And, yeah, we'll just see. I just want them to be funny. Like, so, even if it turns out that a lot of the animation was puppeted, you know, if it's funny, I'm gonna like it. Just like, even though I complained about the Mickey Mouse shorts, just the design's a little too spumco-y for me, they're still pretty funny. I mean, I enjoy them. I just don't seek them out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one little thing that keeps me from being a big fan, but I respect it a whole lot. I respect what they were able to do. But, you know, these days you're going to see like most cartoons that are cartoons are going to be very frenetic. What's wonderful about the original Looney Tunes, though, is how much they took their time to set up gags and how many cutaways there were to a character just looking at the camera, waggling his eyebrows, or thinking. Just thinking. Like, especially, like, dumb characters like Elmer Fudd, they look into the camera a lot and very slowly say, you know what? I think that was the rabbit. And it's just, I don't think we're going to get much of that anymore. the taking of time. But again, we shall see. I really wish I could have worked on them. That would have been a dream come true. Well, who knows? Maybe next year. Maybe if it's a success, they'll do more, and maybe I'll kick down the door. And Donnie says, the short where Bug's dressed as a mermaid is actually hair ribbon. Oh, I never knew the name of it. And LJ says, I always have to watch your videos in low resolution or else my lines lag while I draw. By all means, as low resolution as possible. And it is very annoying to have your lines drag. And Catharni says they mimicked the hand-drawn feel pretty fine. Not saying it looks as good though. Yeah, it's... what I suspect happened is that they intended to have it be entirely hand-drawn. But they, you know, it was taking a lot of time, it was eating up a lot of budget, and they said, okay, maybe certain cartoons will be hand-drawn, or perhaps certain moments can be entirely hand-drawn. Because it's not just the drawing of the animation that takes time, it's the whole cleanup. Like, the reason cutout animation or puppeted animation is so damn efficient is because you completely roll into one step the animation and the cleanup. So it might also be that stuff was hand-drawn, but when they cleaned it up digitally, they worked it over with puppeted elements instead of actually doing a cleanup by hand. You know, there's lots of things to explain why the trailer looks the way it does. Yeah. I know for sure the lip sync looks like it's puppeted, because that's an easy way to save on time, but you just... A lot of personality is done with the mouth, with the lip sync, so standardizing that, making it homogeneous, it's a big reason why puppeted animation is not as much fun as hand-drawn animation, because sometimes you talk out of this side of your mouth, sometimes you talk out of this side of your mouth, and you know, there's subtle head tilts that you want to do to get just the right expression, and when you make everything the pipeline, you just, you know, everything becomes samey, homogeneous, not as interesting, but more efficient. It's a balancing act these days. Yeah, I wonder, somebody here should know if, in today's dollars, how much did a single Looney Tunes short cost to produce? I know I've seen it said that the Fleischer Superman cartoons in today's dollars were about $1 million to produce each 6-minute short. So, yeah, that's not happening today. So, I do wonder. There's got to be some website that would say, okay, this is just, I did a terrible job on you, Red Door, I'm so sorry. But I gotta keep moving. I'm like a shark. I'm like an animation shark. Keep moving or you die. Also, I'm really hungry and I just want to get this to a point. Oh, you guys have no idea how hard I worked on this page. Like how many redraws I've done to try and please everybody, and I'm just so nervous that I'll get through all of this and it'll still come back to me as, well, you know what? We decided to change everything. And I'm like, I only have 2 days left. I haven't even started on the big epic last page yet. Ah me. Ah my. Interesting. Why is the folder... Oh, because he's not in the folder. Well, that explains that. There you go. Normal, thank you. Alright, let's start on you, Hattie. Or Millie, or whatever your name is now. Originally, your name was Haley, but that got changed. Oh. And again, gotta put these glasses on a different level. Because of the wonderful things I does. Yeah, it's only cheating a little bit. There we go. And Kitsy and Meow says, in gaming we have to use a crap ton of puppet animation for efficiency and reuse. Makes me sad because it often ends up too stiff. Kills the energy of the concept art almost entirely. Yeah. I would say people working in games have it rough. Because it's not just about doing good animation, it's about making sure it all links together, and oh, it must be so tough. And the budgets for games, I wonder, are the budgets generally for games on par with animation? Or is it usually less? Like, my guess is that it's less. But I don't know for sure. I haven't done much work in games. And, oh, welcome, Ice Cream Hero. And Beowulf said, started thinking about all the hip cartoon redesigns in the 90s. And I think of today's version of that is gang member Looney Tunes t-shirts. Now, I remember, like, in the 90s, or the 80s and 90s is when they started dressing, like, all the legacy characters in, like, backward baseball caps and, like, extreme neon colors, man. And it always weirded me out as a kid. It's like, why is Mickey going to the disco? Mickey doesn't do that. Because it's funny. I'm all about putting the cartoon characters in historical costumes. That is totally fine with me. But making them hip, just like, ooh. They're not. Stop it. Yeah, I remember Tweety was really popular in girls' fashion in the 90s, early 2000s. And I was like, you realize he's not a girl, right? He's cute, but you're putting him with all these like pink hair ribbons and things. I don't know. And when I saw that, anybody wearing like a really girly Tweety Bird shirt, I was just like, well, I guess you just think he's cute, but you're not a Looney Tunes fan. And yes, this is how I chose my friends. Like, are you a Looney Tunes fan? Prove it. That's just funny, the notion that I picked my friends. Now I base my friendships on what version of Batman is your favorite. So, I've grown a little bit. And Ice Cream Hero says, I noticed faster pacing in the new SpongeBob as they switch from storyboard to driven to script driven. Old episodes slow down every now and then. It feels like as many gags as possible. Yeah. I don't like digital puppets, but at least some shows are still hand-drawn. Simpsons, We Bare Bears, SpongeBob. Yeah, to a certain extent, there's no escaping the puppetry. And, some puppeted animation is really, really great. Like on the new Mickey Mouse shorts. I keep calling them new. They're very old at this point. I wonder if I should just call them like the 2000s Mickey cartoons. I don't know. I just miss the spontaneity of frame-by-frame stuff. Like, really, like, not even worrying about staying on model, servicing the emotion, not the model sheet. I miss being able to pick out the individual styles of certain animators. And it's something you can't really do. You can't really do that anymore. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. And Kitsy and Meow says, good luck with the drawing. I'll catch y'all later. It was so nice of you to join us if you're still here. Thank you kindly. And have a great day. And Raccoon says, big gaming studios like Sony or Nintendo can at times produce games that are on par with an animated movie. Yeah, there's a strange thing. There are some games that come out and I'm annoyed that they're games. I'm like, I just want this to be a movie. I don't want to have to play a game to get this story. Who has that kind of time? There are a few games I've looked on YouTube for playthroughs. Yeah, I always wanted to figure out. There was that Disney game a few years ago with Mickey. He had a magical paintbrush, and I heard that like the villain was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. What was that called? Disney Inc. Anyway, I was really interested in that. I was like, what's the story here? And I was always confused by the Kingdom Hearts games. I never understood what they were about. And I had a friend try to explain to me, and I just, like, brain fuzzed. Like, it just wouldn't stay in my brain what the story was about. Oh. There we go, Hattie. All right, moving on to Miss Keeley. Did I save recently? I'm so paranoid about that. Okay. Sorry about that. I went to analog. I don't know how that happened. Epic Mickey was the paintbrush game. Epic Mickey, yeah. The art in the world was great in Epic Mickey, but the gameplay was just okay. Yeah, what was the story about, though? That featured a lot of lost or forgotten or scrapped Disney attractions and characters? Wow. Like theme park rides that never saw the light of day? You know what? I haven't been to Disney World in so long, and I've never been to Disneyland. Why is this not working? That's why. But it seems like they keep changing stuff so fast that I never get a chance to see the stuff that I want to see. Like there's that alien ride, or the alien encounter, or alien experience or something. And before I got a chance to go there, they changed it to they refurbished it to be the Stitch alien encounter, which is really funny. But the original attraction was supposed to be super, super creepy. And I don't normally like stuff like that, but it just seemed really cool. But I wonder, do you think Disney would ever do like a vintage park where they take all of their old attractions so that people could ride them? Like I really want to see Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but I heard they got rid of that. We're merrily, 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 merrily on our way to nowhere in particular. We just showed that to our 5-year-old the other day, and she really liked Mr. Toad. It's just, Mr. Toad is such a weird cartoon because when I'm watching it, I really dig it. I really think it's funny. But then as soon as it's over, I can't remember what I just saw. I was like, ask me right now, like, what is Mr. Toad about? I'm like, a car? A toad driving a car? I don't know. And Beowulf said, with Epic Mickey gets sucked into some magical portal that takes him to the land of forgotten Disney IPs. Pretty sure there's a statue with Walt and Oswald instead of Mickey and Walt. Oh my gosh, that is pretty funny. Yeah, it's stuff like that if I had it in me, I just don't have the time or patience to learn how to play video games. I tried when I was a kid. I was absolute garbage. I never finished Super Mario World. I had my sister do the last boss fight. Bowser in that clown balloon is really scary. I just didn't want to do it. Why is he in that clown balloon? Ice Creamy Hero says Disney locations tend to have a theme. Universal's more fun because of all the fast roller coasters. I don't know, Universal has pretty strong themes too. Again, it's been a long time since I've been. I haven't even been since they did the Harry Potter expansion. But actually, my favorite part of Universal, before Harry Potter World, or the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, was the sort of their fantasy Legends, Myths and Legends area. But also the Jurassic Park area was so cool when all the dinosaurs came out to play. There was, I remember they had these little Triceratop baby puppets that were so adorable, and the way they were presented, it really looked believable. I really loved it. It was so magical. Yeah, for a while, both Disney and Universal seemed to be placing more of an emphasis on experiences rather than really exciting roller coasters. Because, at a certain point, I just don't get thrilled by roller coasters anymore. I don't get that tummy-turning feeling that makes it fun. So experience, I like things that make you feel a bit transported, which is why the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is so... I just loved it. It felt like a lot of care was put into it. So much detail. And the last time I was at Walt Disney World, they really stepped up their animatronics. I remember in the Beauty and the Beast thing.
Excuse me.
Is everything okay?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Alright, I think I'm done with Keely. Though her leg looks a little bit short. Let's lengthen this. Is Diana napping?
Nope.
She never napped?
I don't think so.
That's not good. She needs to nap. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. There we go. Nope. Oh, how many times am I gonna fake myself out? Come on. Be done. Be done with you. All right, Pico, you are the last. Make it count. Make it great. Catharni says, older games are much more unforgiving. Nowadays, there are easier modes to play. Yeah, the problem with nowadays is that there's also 50 billion more buttons to push. I remember Nate was trying to teach me how to play, I don't know, it's like this simple low-budget Batman game. It was just like a punch 'em out, kind of run around and punch people kind of game. That's the technical term, right? Run around and punch people. And I was trying to learn all these combos, and I was like, I don't have enough fingers for all the buttons I need to push here. And he said, well, just smash all the buttons. And I would just smash all the buttons, and once in a while, a really cool kickflip would happen. And I'm like, I have no idea how I did that. And that's not fun for me. I like to know what I'm doing. But it was just very frustrating. So, there was one game I was interested in. I see the little character in a lot of people's avatars, but it's the Ink Demon. It's about a cartoon studio that brought an ink demon to life, something like that. And it just seemed like a really neat story. And it was that, and for some reason, first-person horror games are just always have really good stories. And I like the idea of playing a character, but you don't see their face. I don't know why. There's just something, and like all the characters are talking to you. I guess, you know, it's the whole self-insert thing that it really feels like you're the character. What was that called? Somebody knows. Bendy and the Ink Machine, that's right. But, yeah, I just looked up the story on Wikipedia. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool story. Probably not the best way to experience the story, but it looked cool. Whoop, I'm getting buzzed. And Catharni says, so when are we going to see information about the super secret project? Well, there's two super secret projects, I guess. One of them, the one I keep muttering about, Zorn is writing it, and he's due to do a recording, but it's to do with the Avengers. And we're trying to get it out in time for the release of Black Widow. And the other super secret project is Cartoon Cruelty, which I've boarded it, and it's been, you know, pretty locked, but it requires a lot of live action to be shot. And we were planning to do a shoot, but, you know, this dumb old virus got in the way of that. Pico, what's wrong with your eyes? Come on. He's going, ooh, that's a pretty butterfly. For some reason, he seems out of proportion. I think your head's a little bit too big, my friend. That's better. Okay. Well, here it is, all inked. I know it doesn't look like I did much, but I assure you this was a hefty bit to do. But I can move on to tightening up some other drawings now, and this bush is still bothering me. Gonna give this cat some more space. Gonna avoid all the tangents entirely. It's not as interesting a shape, but meh. Whatevs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo those puddles too. Oh, this page has given me so much grief. But let's see. Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining me as I powered through this particular page. And, yeah, I've just got... Maybe I'll do one more of the book illustrations. Because I miss having the chitty chats. But thanks everyone for joining me and keeping my spirits up. That's very nice. And again, here's all the support stuff. The TeePublics, and I think I want to do just like a couple more t-shirt designs if I have time. I'm going to fall asleep right here. Okay, I'll see you all later. You're all wonderful. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.